All right, everyone, welcome back. I'm in my massage chair, decompressing before I hit the shop. And yesterday was a busy day, and I'm thankful for that. So here yet again, Meineke Cinnaminson does not have a Snap-on tool dealer. Um, he had contractual issues with he's required to have so many head counts for the franchise system, I guess, to work. And I think it was working okay for him, but it probably wasn't what he expected. So, he took over a territory that's declining. There's no secret that our industry is declining. So if everybody that you talk to is looking for technicians and mechanics, what does that tell you? There's not enough bodies in the shop to feed the tool trucks. So as you see tool truck owners sell off their territories, right? And it's no different than Meineke dealers. So Meineke dealers, when we were doing just brakes and exhaust, they were filling suitcases with money. That's how profitable the shops were, and the work was a little bit easier. And there was many people who wanted to do it. There was no shortage of. I don't even think you needed to be a technician. Really, just have some mechanical skills if you're doing bolt-on exhaust systems and brake jobs. Brake systems weren't really complex. 60s, 70s, 80s. They just started to get complex into the 90s. And as cars evolved, it scared off the older generation into retiring or going to deliver parts or sell parts or manage a parts store or just say, screw it, I've had enough of this business. And then now you have the next wave of shops operating out there with guys like me in there and some slightly younger than me and maybe some slightly older, just saying, well, I have to be here because I can't get people to work, and who I have, are the last of the generation of hard workers, skilled mechanics and technicians. And if you ask any mechanic shop worldwide, I would tell you everyone is looking for a good mechanic. Everyone is looking for a good mechanic, and they're willing to pay. And just a pool of good mechanics. I'm not saying great mechanics. I'm saying good mechanics isn't out there. The great mechanics are dug in like ticks where they're at and are happy, or they have their own shop, or they have their own business. And I feel that some of the technicians out here have migrated into doing mobile services until they get the squash, which I'm going to tell you that's going to come. They can't go out there and continue to use hazardous chemicals, do clutches, transmissions, and oil changes and all that stuff. In a lot of areas, it's a violation of many codes and associations, and it's technically unsafe too. So eventually, I thought that would happen to mobile paint guys who are riding around and doing bumper covers and doors and things like that outside. But I just don't think that it's caught up to them yet, and they're flying under the radar in my opinion. But everybody is looking for a great mechanic. Everybody is looking for some good mechanics, and there's plenty. And don't take this personal to anybody that knows me or not. There's plenty of people out here that are smart and good with their hands, but that doesn't make them the great or the best mechanic. Experience and knowledge and time will do that. I don't care what classroom you sit in, and what you do. And Jude can attest to this. He's been in Ford Asset Training Program, and in my opinion, he's barely getting basics, and he's not getting enough experience. And the only way you get experience is to dig into it and do it. And that includes transmissions, engines, and timing chains, and timing belts, and wire harnesses. And, when you work for a specific manufacturer, you get to see all that as you're the A tech in the shop or a specialist in the shop. And they have just those guys because the rest of the field just isn't there. So one guy is the trainee expert, one guy is the network expert now for today's cars, like, why these cars aren't talking, communications and modules, and the other guy's the mechanic, the other guy's the chassis guy in the body shop, special, they're holding on to their specialty guys and they're paying up for them. And then, you look around and you see, a lot of people who came from outside of the younger generation that worked at a gas station that didn't service cars, just pumped gas, or a fast food place, and they're dabbling into, hey, I want to be a service technician. And you're going to see a lot of young faces in the base trying to figure out, is this for them? But I think as fast as they enter this field, if they don't have a true passion for cars and enthusiastic about cars and restorations and, the challenge and all that, they move on. And they move on quicker than you think. They're not making the money that they thought they would make through the door. If they got a taste of flat rate, they're like, why am I working 10, 12-hour days and getting paid for 6? And that just goes on in a lot of shops. We don't pay that way. But back to the Snap-on guy, the reason why the Snap-on tool trucks and Matco tool trucks, at least in my area, in Cornwall and wherever else you want to say, now we have no tool trucks. We used to have tool trucks 20 years ago. Now we have none. And Snap-on was the last of that. So our Snap-on tool dealer, as they dwindle down, they surrender their inventory and their truck. And now he's just collecting what he's owed on the street because that's his money. And he'll be around in his personal vehicle. And now we're going to have to figure out what the hell we're going to do with all of our breakage, especially at my shop. We break tools just about every week. And doing the mail-in program with Snap-on is just the thumbs down for me. I mean, I'll have every Snap-on tool busted in my toolbox in 60 days. And then along with my mechanics that have tools, like we won't have any tools. So I said to Caleb that we're going to have to go to another territory and lean on another Snap-on tool dealer. But if he doesn't come to the shop, he's not really going to get any sales because I'm not driving there to hang out and buy. I'm there to just get my products warranty and be on my way. So he would really have to just come over to the shop to get some sales before he says, hey, I'm not servicing anymore. All I do is your warranty work. And I've seen that over years. Like, hey, man, I have all these tools, and this is from one of my Philly shops. It's like, the tool truck just doesn't come around anymore. Can you get these warranted? And I've done that because our tool guy was a great guy. And now I can't help them. And then Al passed away, and they were all his tools, so they're probably just sitting in his toolbox. But I told Caleb, I said, this is just going to make Harbor Freight and online even stronger. And Harbor Freight would probably wind up being with Harbor Freight just for the sheer convenience and traffic, and then them not have to worry about a franchisee tool truck out there on there. I mean, you probably, I would say this, people have said Snap-on tools look like Icon tools. I mean, it's possible that, something's going on. But so here we go. We don't have a Snap-on tool truck yet again. For the investment that I make in this company and their franchise system, I feel like now, I should be completely done with them. But now you have all these expensive tools. What do you do? So it's just going to be a dwindle effect for me. Eventually I'm going to have a box, just like I have Matco and all that stuff, box of broken crap that's just been sitting, hoping that a tool dealer would show up one day. And it's been years. And then we're just, using the other end of box wrenches and speed wrenches and chopping out, making custom wrenches. So, that's just what's going to happen to Snap-on. I'm just going to have a box of crap that's broken, that's cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. And then, my love for Snap-on is just dwindling. And the only hope for Snap-on is Snap-on Val tools for me. If she drives out here, she would get all my business. But I don't think we're going to see another Snap-on tool truck in our territory. I mean, all the shops are basically there still. How many shops have closed in Cinnaminson? One gas station's been closed. They opened a Jiffy Lube, but what are they using to fix cars? I mean, they don't really fix cars over there. So basic hand tools if they're lucky. So the tool truck will never make any money there. So that's it. As much as I love their products, the specialty stuff, for me, like, what good is Snap-on to me if there's no tool truck? I just get pissed off because I've made that investment, right? excuse me, it's not like a Pep Boys or a Meineke, for example. There's a Meineke just about in every town. There's close to 1,000 shops that you could go to Meineke across the country. So, if one Meineke shop closes, usually it reopens up sooner than later. It's not like they usually stay closed, but you can go to the next Meineke location and be happy with that. Be happy with the brand that is keeping centers open for the most part. And same thing with Pep Boys. Pep Boys service is still open around here, and the one in Washington Township closed. And then you can just go to the next service center if you had warranted items or if you like that service center. But yeah, so Snap-on's basically done in our territory, so I think. All right, guys, thanks for watching.